You walk into your own home, and instead of feeling peaceful, you feel overwhelmed, stressed, maybe even a little embarrassed. If that sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone. I'm here to tell you something that might surprise you. That feeling isn't about getting older. It's about the stuff that's slowly taken over your sanctuary. Today, I'm going to share 20 specific items you can remove from your home right now that will instantly make your space feel lighter, safer, and more joyful. And here's the beautiful part. You don't need to tackle everything at once. Let me introduce you to my friend Sarah. She's 68, lives in a charming 2-bedroom home she's called home for 3 decades. But recently, Sarah told me something that broke my heart. She said, "I don't feel at peace in my own home anymore." Does that resonate with you? Sarah's story is more common than you might think. Over the years, we accumulate things, not just objects, but memories, just-in-case items, and gifts we feel guilty about discarding. Before we know it, our homes transform from peaceful retreats into storage facilities that stress us out daily. But Sarah's story has a beautiful ending, and yours can too. If you're ready to reclaim your peace of mind and create a home that truly serves you, make sure to subscribe to Elder's Wise Insight. We're here to make your golden years genuinely golden. Now, let's walk through Sarah's transformation together. Living room, creating your peaceful haven. Sarah started her journey in the living room, and there's wisdom in that choice. This is where we spend our quiet moments, where we welcome guests, where we should feel most at ease. Yet for many of us, it's become a collection point for things we might need later. 1. Those towering magazine and newspaper stacks. When Sarah opened her front door, the first thing visitors saw was a coffee table buried under magazines, some dating back 2 years. "I kept thinking I'd read them eventually," she told me with a sheepish smile. "Here's what I've learned in my years. If a magazine is older than 3 months, the information is either outdated or no longer relevant to your current life. That recipe you saved? Take a photo with your phone. That article about health tips? The advice has probably been updated by now." Sarah's solution was simple but powerful. She recycled everything older than 2 months and committed to a 1-in, 1-out rule. New magazine comes in, an old one goes out. The result? Her coffee table became a place for her morning tea and a good book, not a paper graveyard. 2. Tired, shapeless throw pillows. I watched Sarah lift a throw pillow from her couch. It barely held its shape. "I've had this since my daughter was in high school," she laughed. She's 45 now. Throw pillows are meant to add comfort and beauty to your space. When they're faded, lumpy, or stained, they're doing the opposite. They're making your beautiful furniture look tired. Sarah replaced her 6 worn pillows with 2 brand new ones in colors that made her smile. The difference was remarkable. Her living room instantly looked fresh and intentional. 3. The trinket invasion. This one hit close to home for Sarah. Every surface in her living room told a story. The seashell from Florida, the ceramic cat from her sister, the decorative spoon collection from various travels. Each piece held a memory, but together they created visual chaos. I shared something with Sarah that changed her perspective. Memories live in your heart, not in objects. She chose 5 truly meaningful pieces: a photo of her late husband, a vase from their anniversary trip, and 3 small items that brought her genuine joy every time she looked at them. The rest? She took photos of them for a memory album and donated them to families who would appreciate them. Her living room transformed from cluttered to curated. 4. Furniture that's become expensive storage. Sarah had a beautiful armchair in the corner that hadn't seated a person in 3 years. Instead, it held stacks of unopened mail, old newspapers, and a broken lamp she kept meaning to fix. "When did my furniture become storage?" she wondered aloud. It's a question many of us should ask ourselves. Furniture should serve your life, not complicate it. If a piece isn't being used for its intended purpose, it's time to evaluate whether it belongs in your space. Sarah moved the chair to her bedroom, where she actually needed seating, and suddenly her living room had breathing room. Kitchen, rediscovering the joy of cooking. The kitchen should be the heart of the home, but for Sarah, it had become a source of daily frustration. "I used to love cooking," she confided. "Now I can't even find a clean pan without moving 10 things first." 5. The expired food time capsules. Sarah's pantry revealed treasures that belonged in a museum. Canned goods from 2019, spices that had lost their color, and flour that had turned into a science experiment. Here's a reality check we all need. Expired food isn't just useless, it can be dangerous. That can of tomatoes from 2020 isn't going to magically become fresh again. And those mystery items in the back of your fridge? They're not adding value to your life. Sarah spent one afternoon checking dates and was amazed by what she found. She filled 2 grocery bags with expired items and suddenly had space to actually see what food she had available. 6. The Great Container Mystery. Sarah opened her container drawer and laughed out loud. It's like a puzzle where half the pieces are missing, she said. Containers without lids, lids without containers, and containers so warped they couldn't close properly. This might seem minor, but think about it. How much frustration do mismatched containers cause in your daily life? Sarah kept only the containers that had matching lids and were in good condition. She ended up with 6 complete sets instead of 23 random pieces, and packing leftovers became simple again. 7. The Mug Museum. Sarah opened her mug cabinet and counted 23 mugs for a woman who drinks 1 cup of coffee per day. I don't even know where half of these came from, she admitted. We hold on to mugs for the strangest reasons. They were gifts, souvenirs, or just in case we have company. But here's the truth. When was the last time you served coffee to 23 people in your home? Sarah kept her 4 favorites, the ones that actually brought her joy when she held them. The rest went to a local charity where they could bring joy to others instead of taking up her valuable cabinet space. 8. Dangerous, worn-out cookware. This one is about more than clutter. It's about your health. Sarah's favorite nonstick pan was so scratched it looked like a topographical map. Those scratches aren't just ugly. They can release harmful chemicals into your food. Sarah invested in 1 high-quality pan to replace 3 worn-out ones. Why did I hold on to pans that made cooking harder? She wondered. Quality over quantity isn't just a saying. It's a way to honor yourself and your daily routines. Bedroom. Creating your sanctuary. Your bedroom should be your personal retreat, but Sarah's had become an extension of her closet. Clothes draped over chairs, shoes scattered across the floor, and a nightstand stacked with items that had no business in a sleep sanctuary. 9. Clothes that no longer serve you. Sarah's closet was a timeline of her life. Clothes from different decades, different sizes, different versions of herself. I keep thinking I'll fit into this again, she said, holding up a dress from the 1990s. Here's what I've learned. Holding on to clothes that don't fit is like holding on to a version of yourself that no longer exists. It's not honoring who you are today. Sarah used the 1-year rule. If she hadn't worn something in a year, it went to charity. The result? A closet full of clothes she actually enjoyed wearing, making getting dressed a pleasure instead of a source of stress. 10. Bedding that's past its prime. Sarah pulled back her comforter to reveal sheets that were thin enough to see through and pillows that had lost all their support. I've had these sheets since my kids were little, she said. Good sleep is crucial for our health, especially as we age. Old, uncomfortable bedding isn't just an aesthetic issue. It's affecting your rest. Sarah replaced her worn bedding with 1 quality set that made her excited to go to bed each night. 11. The Shoe Collection Floor Show. Sarah's closet floor looked like a shoe store after an earthquake. Heels she hadn't worn in 5 years, sneakers that gave her blisters, sandals with broken straps. I keep thinking I'll get them fixed, she sighed. Shoes that hurt your feet aren't doing you any favors. Sarah kept only comfortable, supportive shoes that she actually wore. Her feet thanked her, and getting dressed became so much simpler. 12. Jewelry that's lost its sparkle. Sarah's jewelry box was filled with costume jewelry that had tarnished, broken necklaces she meant to fix, and gifts she'd never really liked but felt guilty about discarding. The solution was surprisingly emotional for Sarah. She kept only the pieces that held genuine meaning or brought her joy. The rest? She gave meaningful pieces to her granddaughter and donated the others. Now when I open my jewelry box, everything I see makes me smile, she said. Home office, clearing mental clutter. Sarah's desk area was drowning in paper. I used to be so organized, she said, looking at the chaos that had gradually taken over. 13. The Paper Mountain Range. Stacks of old bills, outdated statements, and documents she wasn't sure she needed anymore had turned Sarah's desk into a paper fortress. The stress was visible on her face every time she looked at it. The solution? Sarah spent one weekend sorting everything into 3 piles: keep, scan, and shred. Most of those intimidating stacks ended up in the shred pile. I was keeping utility bills from 2018, she laughed. Why? 14. The mystery cord collection. Sarah opened her desk drawer to reveal a tangled mess of cables and chargers. I have no idea what half of these go to, she admitted. But what if I need them? If you can't identify what a cord belongs to, you don't need it. Sarah matched each cable to a device. The orphan cables? Recycled. Her drawer went from chaotic to organized in one afternoon. 15. Office supplies that don't work. Sarah reached for a pen, and it didn't work. She tried another. Also dead. In fact, of the 20 pens in her desk, only 5 actually wrote. This might seem trivial, but think about the daily frustration of reaching for tools that don't work. Sarah tested every pen, marker, and highlighter. The dead ones went in the trash, and suddenly her desk drawer became functional again. Bathroom, safety and simplicity. The bathroom might be the smallest room in the house, but Sarah's had accumulated years of products and medications that posed both clutter and safety risks. 16. The expired medication museum. Sarah's medicine cabinet told a story of years of health concerns: expired prescription bottles, over-the-counter medications from 2020, and vitamins that had turned to powder. Expired medications aren't just ineffective, they can be dangerous. Sarah carefully disposed of everything that was past its expiration date at a pharmacy take-back program. I felt so much safer knowing everything in my cabinet was current and necessary, she said. 17. Half-used beauty product graveyard. Sarah counted 12 half-empty shampoo bottles, dried-up lotions, and hotel soaps she'd been saving for someday. The clutter made her morning routine feel chaotic instead of refreshing. The rule here is simple. If it's dried out, separated, or hasn't been used in 6 months, it's time to go. Sarah kept only the products she used regularly, and suddenly her bathroom routine became streamlined and pleasant. 18. The towel archive. Sarah's linen closet contained towels from every decade of her marriage, frayed, stained, and mismatched towels that she never reached for but couldn't bring herself to discard. Fresh, soft towels are one of life's simple pleasures. Sarah kept only her best towels and repurposed the old ones as cleaning rags. I felt like I was staying at a nice hotel in my own home, she smiled. Garage/storage, the final frontier. Sarah had avoided her garage for months. It's where things go to be forgotten, she said. But facing this space would complete her transformation. 19. Broken tools and equipment. Sarah's garage contained a graveyard of good intentions: a lawn mower that hadn't worked in 3 years, rusty tools, and gadgets she'd bought but never learned to use. The question that changed everything for Sarah was this: if I haven't fixed it or used it in a year, will I ever? The answer was almost always no. She donated working tools to a community center and properly disposed of the broken ones. 20. Sentimental items that had become burdens. This was the hardest category for Sarah. Boxes of her children's artwork, every greeting card she'd ever received, and keepsakes from relatives who had passed away. Am I dishonoring their memory if I let these go? She asked. I shared something that changed Sarah's perspective. Love isn't stored in objects. It lives in your heart and your memories. Sarah chose a few truly meaningful items to keep, digitized important photos and documents, and found peace in knowing that letting go of objects didn't mean letting go of love. Sarah's beautiful transformation. 3 weeks later, I visited Sarah again. The change was remarkable, not just in her home, but in her entire demeanor. She moved through her space with confidence and peace. I wake up in the morning and feel calm instead of overwhelmed, she said. Sarah's home had become a reflection of who she is today, not a museum of who she used to be or might become someday. Every item in her space had a purpose and brought her joy. Your journey starts today. Here's what I want you to remember. Decluttering isn't about getting rid of everything you own. It's about creating space for what truly matters in your life right now. It's about choosing peace over possessions, function over just in case, and joy over guilt. You don't have to tackle everything at once. Start with one category from today's list. Maybe it's those expired medications in your bathroom cabinet, or perhaps it's the stack of magazines by your favorite chair. Small steps create big changes. Which room in your home is calling out for your attention? Share in the comments below. I read every single one, and your story might inspire someone else to take that first brave step. If this guide helped you see your home in a new way, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need to hear this message. Subscribe to Elders' Wise Insight for more practical wisdom to make your golden years truly shine. Remember, a peaceful home isn't about having less. It's about having exactly what serves your life today. You deserve to feel at peace in your own sanctuary. Until next time, this is Elders' Wise Insight, reminding you that the best years of your life can also be the most peaceful ones.